Hey, what's up everyone? Richard here, and in this video, me and a couple other YouTubers including JamesBlack47, Given, and Peasemaker, along with the Payday 2 forum moderator Ashley, discuss the recent drama associated with the release of the Crimefest update. I will be making a video discussing the matter in depth, and one talking about the weapon rebalance, but please enjoy this and feel free to put your own 2 cents in the comment section below.
So, ladies and gentlemen, here to talk about Angerfest Day 2, we have Richard Dangles, myself, Given, Peasemaker, and Ashley from the Steam community forums. Sorry, I didn't give you guys time to say hello.
I know, rude.
Exceedingly rude.
Hello, greetings and salutations.
And Ashley will be responding via Steam chat, so as long as everyone's cool with using your eyeballs to read. So,
Too advanced.
The whole idea...
Will it goes to 50?
What?
Will it chat goes to 50?
Yeah. So the whole idea here, I think, was that we wanted to have a bunch of community members sort of weigh in on this, what's sort of turned into a shitstorm on the forums and on Reddit. Yeah, Crimefest.
Yeah.
Cryfest, I guess you could say.
I said cry.
I know.
QQ Fest.
Yeah. And I think that there's definitely 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 sides to this whole thing, so I wanted to make sure everybody had a say, and, well, it's not just me. I wanted to make sure everyone had a say, but... Just me. I had this idea. It was my idea. Also, 30k subs, or 30k people on the thing. That was my idea, too. Sorry.
30k subs.
30k subs.
Today.
That was my idea.
Today.
That number was my idea. Anyone else who had 30k subs before me, plagiarism. Get out.
All right, let's All right, so what was the first thing on our list?
I think that we should just go over the microtransactions first.
Okay, because that's probably the crux of the...
Yeah, because even... It's kind of like... Okay, I don't want to, like, compare this to Gamergate, because it's not. But I think there's a lot of things the community is pissed off about that the microtransactions thing just set off with them.
Yeah, it kind of exposed a nerve.
Yeah, exactly.
We should probably first also, I guess, tell people what basically was added to the game, because some may not know, some may, you know, haven't played for the last few days. So, who would like to do that?
Given? Richard?
Okay, I'll do it, I guess.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
So, day 1 of Crimefest, they introduced, let's see, they had the weapon rebalance, which completely changed how all the weapons in Payday 2 work. But, yeah, mostly. With the exception of, I think, damage kind of still is the same thing.
Not really. Some of them have buffs, but that's
well, like,
also
I mean,
for another
there's
time.
buffs to it, but it's still, like, damage still works the same way as it did before. However, a lot of the weapons have changes in their damage. Yeah. The most controversial thing, however, in the day 1 update has to be the inclusion of microtransactions and the introduction of drills and safes. So essentially what that added was at the end of heists you can actually earn a weapon case or a weapon safe. And you can God, that bird.
Jocko is also with us.
You can unlock these weapon cases by purchasing drills for $2.50. These cases will contain sometimes rare, sometimes not so rare weapons. And some of them, very few, I think it's like maybe, I've seen like 1 in 10, will actually have a stat boost. And it is a very minor stat boost, but it is one that you can notice.
I mean...
So that is where the controversy starts showing up.
I wanted to clarify, and I don't know if anyone knows this, but you might know it because you've been talking to the Long Guide guy. Do shotguns, like, does every pellet count now, or is it still just the top pellet?
Actually,
I'm pretty sure it still counts only 1 hit, but every pellet does this amount of damage.
Yeah,
and it's only 1
They haven't changed
pellet.
the shotgun.
So it hasn't been changed at all. So it's the shotguns, they haven't been nerfed, but they've been left in the dust.
Yeah, they've just kind of been... And I think that's why people are freaking out, because a lot of guns got really, really powerful, the shotguns.
The Leo pistol and the Interceptor pistol, they do around, like, almost 100, or I think maybe even over 100 damage now per shot. Like, I kind of...
You can.
Shimano
I
Custom
just
is
did
OP,
that.
Yeah.
Loco
you can
one-shot
headshot tans.
I just made a build like to maximize pistol damage with silencers and everything, and you can bring the Leo.
Wait, say that again. AA12 is 22 damage.
Yeah,
Yep.
no, it is.
Oh my god, I didn't see this. What the? Here, I'm opening.
What was
Payday
it
right now.
before?
It was a healthy
It was
like
around
40.
60. All the
Yeah.
auto shotguns
60?
had 60 damage.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's that whole, like, dodge versus armor thing again, right? Because, like, pistols are kind of a dodge thing, and shotguns are sort of... It's there in the Enforcer tree, so you're typically getting them if you're getting armor.
Oh my
remember
god,
way
it's
back in my
22
day
damage.
when the ideal loadout for stealth was a
I'm thinking,
locomotive
guys,
and
we
a
are
car
kind of
for-
going off track from the
We are.
microtransactions. So let's get back on that.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So, yeah, the
So-
microtransactions, yeah.
I mean, really though, like, Overkill's free to make their decisions because, you know, it is in fact their game. If they want to listen to their community, which they have been known to do, right?
Yep.
There's been shit tons, and I mean shit tons of things where like, oh, wow, that's actually really cool. That was something we haven't even thought of. Like, I always go back to, yeah, like they removed the Twitter challenges,
Yep.
like Ashley's saying, and when they added that animation, first-person animations update, that like was just completely out of the
'cause you
blue. You
locked
know,
yourself
that was
in
Yeah, that was
that's-
kind of cool.
That's one of my favorite updates. I love that. You know.
Yeah, but at the same time, they can listen to the community, whatever they want. But I know maybe some of you people don't know, but payday2stats.com, the site where you could previously check
Yeah,
everyone's
that got shut down,
skills
didn't
and
it?
stuff.
Yeah.
It was pretty much shut down.
Well, let's
after the release
stay on
of-
the microtransactions part, because I think there's a lot to say about that, too.
Yeah, the biggest issue I think people have with microtransactions is it's a really big departure from the original feel of Payday. And another big issue is it introduces an in-game economy that wasn't previously there.
Yeah.
And a lot of people feel like it's turning pay to win because there are stat bonuses with some of the weapons you can unlock.
Yeah.
I haven't noticed anything too egregious. Like, so I got a Thanatos skin, and it gave me extra ammo. I was like, oh cool, this could be really useful, but turns out it only gave me one extra bullet, and I was like, oh well.
Oh,
that's
really?
not- Yeah, it only gave me one bullet. I was like,
Well, it's
Well,
a Thanatos.
you say
It has
that,
like
you say
15 at
that.
max, but
I've
like,
had
one
some
Thanatos
skins-
shot can kill anything, really.
Yeah,
But
I've
the
had some
dozer.
skins that pretty much skin was a replacement for a weapon modification. For example, like +6 stability, +4 accuracy. It pretty much was yet another modification because,
Yeah.
well, like a flash hider would only add +4 accuracy. So on the other hand, like for example, I have a RPG skin that has I think 4 accuracy, and the base accuracy is 96. So pretty much my RPG is laser accurate, which is kind of useless because they still can shoot it from the air, you
Pretty
know.
good distances. Yeah.
But yeah, those skins, at least that's what I have. I've unlocked so far, I have only 12 skins. About
Only.
4 of them have stat boosts.
You bought a lot, because here's the thing. You mentioned what happened in Russia the first day.
Oh yeah, okay, in Russia, as you some people know, we have another currency, rubles. And ruble is a bit less than a dollar. Basically, like $1 is about 60 rubles, yeah? So, about first half an hour into this update, all the skins were, like, I mean, all the drills, yeah? They were worth pretty much the same price, but it wasn't translated, so it was 2 rubles 50.
oh my
So-
god.
I've gotten
Holy
about
shit, dude.
11 keys for a cost of less than a key, and some of my friends also did. So I've got some skins now. I don't feel bad about it because I'm pretty sure this update, like, it's not worth it. But yeah, I've used it. I don't like care about it, and at least now I have skins and I see what happens. Yeah, some of the stat changes, they are pretty minor, yes, but some of them are not. For example, there are plus concealment changes. So
Yeah,
for
I got
example,
one of
you can-
those.
Yeah, you can basically make a weapon even like more concealed, which would make it overpowered with crit builds because
Yeah.
you know it's
How
tied
much more
to
concealed if I can?
It's like 15% or so, right?
Like, what's like the number? Like, is it just like
It's
plus
like
two?
plus 2. You know,
So remember they
it's
changed the
kinda big.
number to paradigm as well.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
Almir or said Almir. It's an AK skin, and it gave me 1 extra concealment. So it's not a huge number, but for some stealth, that could make a difference.
It
being able to-
crits,
it can
definitely.
counter another mod which increases its damage. For example, you can slap on the fire breather with a concealment, and you have an AK which has tons of damage, and it's also really concealed. So it would pretty much can break if you're, of course, if you're lucky and if you're unboxed. the proper skin.
Yeah,
Which,
but then you
honestly,
have like
it will never happen. There is no way to get what you want in these kinds of, you know, save, key, whatever drill. You can never get what you want.
In a way, you could. Like for those who are, I don't want to say dumb enough. I don't want to call it dumb. Like for those who, you know, spend
have disposable income.
Yeah, thank you. For drills, they open saves, they get the stat bonuses, and they can sell those on the marketplace. If they were to add like a filter, like they do for Counter-Strike, for stat boosting weapons, like the skins on the marketplace, you could just go in there, pick it out, and like, well, it's gonna cost me, you know, 12 DLCs, but hey, at least my gun will have
12
more
DLCs.
And that's a question,
actually...
that's something we brought up before, was like, is Overkill, and I don't know if Ashley you can speak to this within your bounds or not, but is Overkill willing or prepared to moderate such a marketplace? Because there's going to have to be some moderation, and it would probably have to come from Overkill. It couldn't be a volunteer or something, because it's like a huge economic thing. So are they prepared to do that? Okay.
I'm like looking at the Steam marketplace right now. There is pretty much no way to know if skin has a plus stability or not.
That's what I'm saying. Like I noticed that there wasn't.
So...
If they implemented one of those, I mean, why would anyone buy just the regular skins? That's the kind of thing I'm worried of how that could just be looked at as a cash grab, because I'm not sure if you can tell whether or not Peace just made sure right now. So you could end up buying a skin that you want off the marketplace, and it whether or not actually telling you that yeah it gives you stats or no it doesn't, you know?
Yeah.
Or like there could be someone stumbling about and it's like two friends say are buying the exact same skin in the marketplace to the match or something. I don't know. This is a scenario, but one friend goes, oh my gun, you know, has 4 more stability for some reason. And he goes, well mine doesn't. How's that fair? You know?
Yeah. That's the thing. Like you can't tell at a glance from the skin itself that it has a better stat. It just randomly comes up. Feels a lot like
it's only
Borderlands.
shown in game.
Yeah.
They should have like a plus sign on it or something.
Yeah, especially if this is like a status
or,
thing. If this is like an e-penis measuring contest, it's the worst e-penis measuring contest, because you can't tell if somebody else is able to do more damage. You really want to, but you can't.
Yeah.
Can I also pretty much say why I personally think this is a bad idea to include all this thing with like bonus stats, with skins in this game? First of all, if you look at all the games which have microtransactions with, you know, cases, skins and random drops, it's usually either a one-time buy game. So for example, you can buy CSGO once and you can play it basically on all the maps with all the guns. You don't need to buy anything extra. Or it's free-to-play game like TF2. And that's a first thing. Payday, you need to buy Payday first. Then you need to also spend money to get each DLCs. Some cases contain weapons, weapon skins I mean, which can only be applied to a weapon from a DLC. So even if you unbox it, if you spend your 250 on a key, drill, whatever, you can like get a gun which you never bought a DLC for. So you will have to go on a Steam store and spend even more money to just apply a skin which, you know, it may not even be that good. It may not even contain like stability.
Wait 1 sec. So let's say you get a skin like okay, so my Sad Almir skin came with a tactical compensator on it. If I don't have the Gauge Courier pack, would I be able to use that skin or no?
Ooh.
I don't think the skins come with attachments.
Some of them do. The rare ones
do.
will. Ashley, do you know the answer to this question?
Wait,
I'm
just,
pretty
like,
sure
give
you
you
can
the
apply
I don't know if it's fair to
attachment?
ask Ashley something about like the internal game balance, because I don't know if she knows, but we can ask.
What was it? Was it a flash hider? I think you can, like, if you attach a flash hider to the skin, it will change its model. I think that's how it works. So you can still use a skin, but like if you attach it, you would... Again, we don't know anything about mods. I haven't seen anything with extra modifications on there. So
I got
can
one. The
tell
Sad
you.
Almir one came with pretty much fully loaded with modifications. It was only missing a gadget and a... That was my first one too. I felt super lucky.
Is it like a is it a skin for it, or does the actual skin, like if you apply, it automatically attaches?
Yeah, that's
some
It
of the
automatically
mods?
attaches weapon
Oh
mods
god,
to it.
this is yeah, I don't know then.
So it
Honestly,
comes with free
thought-
weapon mods? I'd always just thought that like it gave you the skin and you apply it to a gun with those attachments already on it and they just
Yeah.
blended in with the skin.
Can we create a new account, send that skin to that account and test it? Because that's the best idea I have already.
Yeah,
thought to test it.
honestly, there's no other way to test it because I can't like uninstall the DLC. Well, I think I can actually.
You
just
can
like
update
Everyone
it.
watching this, do that.
Is
And
it-
send
yeah.
us the
It's
results.
Now. Can someone quickly
Yeah.
get a new account? Or if someone has a
Yeah.
other account?
We'll have to try that sometime.
Yeah, I can't do
Yeah.
it right now.
We can test it after this, and I guess like
Post
maybe
in
make
an annotation or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think we've all basically said this. The people's biggest problem with this is that there's stats attached to it, and if there weren't stats attached to this, the microtransactions, I don't know. There'd still be people going, "They said they wouldn't do it. Just fuck them. They're a bunch of assholes."
Yeah,
Can
exactly,
see
but-
my thing about like why it's not suitable for Payday to have this kind of economic.
Go ahead, safe.
Like it's a paid game. You also have to buy DLCs. Some of the skins are only for those DLCs, yeah. And in the end, if you go on the road to Crimefest, it says that everything will be free for the community. And some people, including Almir, said on multiple occasions that this game will never have market transactions in them.
Yeah, and that's the other
So-
thing. It feels like duplicity
It feels like we
on
got
Almir
pretty much
or
they lied
Overkill's
to
part.
us at this
Yeah,
point.
and that's the thing. If he said that 2 years ago, and apparently Almir visited Valve's offices like 2 years ago, and this was apparently coming down the pipe for a long time. If they knew that at that time, they should have said something. Like it actually just said for Team Fortress 2. Not only, I mean, in Team Fortress 2, they like the skins also have stats, right?
No,
No, okay.
none of the skins. Okay, in TF2 and CSGO, only thing that can be, I guess, new to the actual skin is that whether or not it's stat track or not. For example, if you like kill a guy with a stat track weapon, it would count, you know, a kill on the actual gun. So if you inspect it, you will see a small counter. And in TF2, you also have unusual weapons, which just have visual effects. All these games that we pretty much like talk about to compare it to Payday, none of them have stat boosts because Valve knows that if you're making a customization change, it should never also like have any effect on actual gameplay. It should be just a purely visual thing. Also, on some of those games, I think you can just disable all the skins, so if you don't like them, you can just not worry about them at all.
Right.
But
Oh,
in Payday, in lobbies and stuff, you can always see a person with a skin. There is like pretty much no way to... I guess you can disable the high quality models, but that's about it.
Well, I'm sure the thought of stat track crossed Overkill's mind, obviously, like how that would be very cool to, like, you know, after like a weekend or so of heisting, you see, oh, I got like 30,000 kills with this one weapon. But if you notice, like in Counter-Strike, like stat track is like copyrighted. It has like a little, like, you know, TM right next to it, all small and everything. Like that's only for CS:GO. Like no other games can call it stat
Yeah.
track. But then,
in
you know, there's
TF2 it's
TF2, but it's also by Valve, you know. So imagine they call it like something else. I don't
Top
know.
law.
I'm not sure. Yeah. So imagine
Yeah.
like Overkill could have. But I
Cop
think it was
counter.
kind of... They could have
If
just,
we-
like... Yeah.
If we Ashley said that Almir made the statement about the no microtransactions before Payday 2 was released. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
it doesn't really change much, but it's worth mentioning that
Yeah.
it was stated before the game was out. And I know David Goldfarb also made that statement as well.
Yeah. They were. Well, they were. I
But
think they were
but
both
he's
sort of
also
like.
not with the company.
It may have been sort of an optimism thing, and I don't know how. See, that's the other thing. Like, Overkill's got to be making money, right? Like, they got to be making money.
I hope
and
so.
I hope so, because like they have a lot of DLCs, and their game is, you know, fairly popular, on the rise, at least until 2 days ago. I can't say
Yeah.
anything about it now.
Right.
So the question is, like, why would they need to do a thing like this? And I don't think it was ever part of their original plans, but at some point they must have planned to do this, like a little while back, apparently. So what changed? I mean, I know Goldfarb left, and then Simon decided to leave, probably for other reasons. And then Ulf just said he wasn't coming back to do voice lines for Wolf. So
Was that recent?
that was recent, yeah. That just happened yesterday or today.
Oh god.
I was unaware of that. That's upsetting.
Same.
Yeah.
But
so
Yeah, I
I
read
just
about
think that-
that.
Go on, guys. I interrupted.
So
No, you're fine. That's all I want to say.
I
okay.
mean, like, I can see their thought process for adding these stat bonuses. I mean, it's a PvE game. Like, if it was PvP, that'd be a whole different, you know, topic and everything. Like, their thought process is like, who cares if this guy's gun does, you know, 4 more stability? He's on your team. It's gonna help you in the long run. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
that's still not really a good reason to throw it in there. Like, I'm pretty sure not everyone would be happy with it, but they'd be happier with it, or just not as displeased if it just had no stat bonuses whatsoever.
yeah, and I mean,
With
I
the
know.
stats and skins. You can also look at the game like Borderlands. It's a co-op game. Pretty much the whole point of that game most of the times is you find guns with better stats. But the difference is the guns are free. If Payday would have, you know, skins with stats, but if it only was through in-game currency, I think no one would pretty much care
No one
about
would
it. Because
bat an eye, exactly.
if you spend time on it, if you're good at the game, if you invested again some times and resources in it, not again financial resources, just, you know, you've played a lot, you can unlock, for example, a cool skin which like improved your weapon a bit. That would be fair. Making us spend money on DLCs and those keys at the same time, that's a bit overboard for me, at least.
A little overkill, huh?
Oh.
So funny.
Yeah, let's now that we're
God.
talking about this, let's bring Ashley in,
Ashley?
because Ashley's been, you know, moderator for Overkill, or the Overkill's Steam forums for a long time. I don't know actually how long. And this whole shitstorm has hit her pretty hard. People have been like sending really abusive messages, and I think people need to calm the fuck down to a certain degree about this. I mean, I don't know. I made an angry video about it, but that was more to express my displeasure, and I never really. Yeah, please put some of the ones up there, because I mean.
Yeah, at least not call people like from Overkill and
Damn,
also
okay.
moderators fucking Jews and stuff. That's a bit overboard, you know, guys.
And like,
You don't know them. That's a bit racist. And
once you're done posting like all of the horrible death threats you've been putting on there, let us know from like the moderator's perspective, like how you were talking to me before that there's like 200, 300 posts you have to go through that are all being reported, and you have to moderate them successfully. And, you know, if you make one mistake, people could accuse you of censorship. So maybe you could type to
also,
that.
may I ask?
I do know
Ashley,
a handful of people who, you know, I don't consider to be like those trolls, whatever, that post death threats and everything, but they have in fact gotten banned from like Almer's personal Twitter and then the Steam forums just for voicing their opinions and everything. It may have been slightly heated, but like, you know, James, you went ahead and made that video that was slightly heated. Like, it's just got that kind of thing. So like, it is getting harder to moderate, and it's like, it's just, you know, a real like crapshoot, because you can either like, you know, like not take any chances and get rid of that person, but then it looks like you're, you know, censorship, or you cannot and just have a community that's completely just toxic and cancerous, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to accuse Reddit of being cancerous or anything, but like people, the two things I don't agree with are, what was it? People like putting negative reviews in the game, and then people like refusing to play it until like Overkill fixes it. And I don't know if either of those are ever going to make any difference. It's like,
especially with Payday being free.
Yeah, especially with Payday being free. It's like, I'm taking my ball and I'm going home, guys. You can't make me do anything.
Also, Ashley, may I quickly ask, do you guys get anything from moderating the chat, like, you know, any payment or of some sorts? Just like, I don't know how it works, so
yeah, clarify that.
clarify.
You are, in fact, a volunteer.
Yeah, so, I mean, you get codes, but that's like thanks from Overkill. You're not getting any like financial support for doing this. It just
That's all you get is some
volunteer.
download codes for some shitty DLC for getting threatened to, you know, rape and shit.
Yeah.
I would ask for a little bit more.
Could you like
everyone's just
these people
maybe some drills.
Maybe some
They
drills.
better start giving you some drills for this.
Yeah.
That'd be ironic.
So yeah,
That would
people
be
like
pretty
Ashley
ironic.
pretty much spend their time and you know, just moderating this chat, so there's nothing like racist and stuff there. So let's, I guess, respect these people.
Yeah.
People are making such
don't
a big...
post shit on their Steam profiles and...
Yeah, don't go
civil
after these
about
people
it.
like
Oh my
personally.
God.
If you have a problem with the company, then say something to that entity. Or if you have a problem with somebody who's the head of that company, like Almir, say that to Almir personally. And if he blocks you on his Twitter, that's his own thing. But don't go after the people who are literally just saying, this is what that guy said, I'm the messenger. You're killing the messenger. And that's it. Like, and even...
Also, if you're saying this, try to be polite.
Yeah, I
least.
mean, there's a
Like, I
thing
don't
called
get why
civility.
People think they're like that they're like making a difference or something by like acting like little children. Like I saw a guy like grandstanding. He was trying to say like that. Oh, frickin' Payday 2 forums are fighting against my freedom of speech. I'm like, it's a private forum hosted by a private company. They have the right to censor you. Whatever. Like they could.
I mean,
just
they
not
have
let
the
you post
right,
on
but
it.
they also.
I mean,
you also realize that like they face repercussions for that too. Like you can say that they censored, and it's not a wrong thing to say. Well, they censored me, and that's bad. Like he has every right to grandstand.
Well, he does, but no, it's a private forum. If he's saying something like that's, you know, against the community, like clearly written forum rules, then he has no right to like.
Sure.
You can kick somebody off a forum for any reason. You don't need to give a reason because it's your forum. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I mean, if you feel there was an injustice done to you, then you're absolutely.
Oh yeah, well
that's
it.
You can shout it to the high heavens, and people might or might not listen to you.
These people like think they're Thomas Jefferson fighting for like the American Revolution or some crap like that. I'm like, no, you're just some
Great
kid.
analogy, Richard.
It's a video game.
So Ashley, I mean, I know, like you said, like you take censorship claims very seriously, and it's really upsetting to you when people say that you're censoring them. And I mean, upsetting is, you know, whether you're upset or not doesn't matter to, you know, people. Or like some people out on the internet, but like it's like I said, it's a shitstorm, and people are very, very upset, and I understand why they're upset. But at the same time, I did not want to. I'm actually not going to bring it up. There's an analogy I could make here, but like to the riots, basically, where like people are super upset about a thing, and they cause a riot and bust shit up in stores. And, you know, the reason for the riot may or may not be clear to everybody, but there's a riot, you know? So some people just bust the crap out of stores because they're there and, you know, they're very opportunistic. And some people are super pissed off and they don't know any other way of expressing their anger at the situation, which they feel is out of their control entirely. And then some people are on the sidelines taking pictures. So it's not... There's a lot of people who have very... Yeah, they feel like being loud is going to work. And to a certain degree, you can say, okay, yeah, well, a riot does bring eyeballs to the situation. You wouldn't have heard about that particular political incident if there hadn't have been a riot. But at the same time, you're destroying the community in question. There's a lot of people from the outside, and I'm not saying people, this isn't, okay, this is where the analogy falls apart, but there's people who literally just want to cause damage.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Like it may not actually cause any benefit other than having people see what the problem is. I think that's been accomplished now. I think people have seen that, you know, whatever complaints that the community has, they're visible now.
Yeah, I think everybody okay, Overkill knows that people do not like this. The way the microtransactions are set up, and you know, posting another thread about it is not going to change that unless you're like bringing a new idea to the table that hasn't been posted yet. Which, I mean, given the limited span of options we have, that's probably not likely. So I feel like, you know, we've done the message is out. You know, Overkill knows that we don't like this very much,
and that's what I'd petition Overkill to do, is that any silence on their part is only fueling anger and resentment. And what I think people really want, what they really want in their core, is to have some place where they feel like they're being heard. Because my fear in this whole affair is that we'll make a lot of noise and no one will listen. And I think that's why people are making so much noise, and they're leaving negative reviews, and they're calling Overkill Jews. And Yeah, but I don't think he's right about that.
Honestly,
I think that if he makes it...
it will be better if there's something done about this, because at this point, if like Almir won't say like, okay guys, we realized that it's not what you guys want, so for example we are like removing this entirely, or making it so you don't have to spend real money on this market transaction stuff.
Like literally, if they introduced a way to get these drills through like doing side jobs or something, I literally
Weekly
think the
jobs.
forums or something like that.
I
Like
think
just...
you get a save a week, so you can get a key week and enjoy your free skin.
I think the way that James brought up in that video of his was done perfectly, and I think that'd be a great idea.
Oh.
How like you could unlock the drills through the game, but it take time, or you could actually spend like the money just to get like 10 keys in a bundle right then and there, just to get them. But then again, yeah. I mean, that's the first thought I had when I launched that update yesterday. It's like, how is things like Pirate Perfection like that? A program I know that you could like just push a button and get every item in the game. Like, how would that not just like work with the skins, the things that actually cost like, you know, real money now?
It's because it's generated through the Steam inventory though, and I think that's the main reason why. Thinking about that,
there's probably a way. I'm gonna say just Ashley, she brought up a good idea about like hackers. But let's face it, Payday isn't the perfect game. There are a few bugs. It's sometimes
hackers,
it's not well optimized. There are hackers everywhere. If you look at almost all the games which have successful economy in them, it's usually something either from Valve or something which is already finished. I'm not talking about H1Z1 because, you know, the game is still work in progress.
Right.
But still, most successful games like Counter-Strike, TF2, Dota, they all have Valve anti-cheat. They are all well-done games with little to no bugs in them, or some like minor oversights, I think. Yeah.
I mean,
the games with longest standing communities are the ones with an economy.
That's not... See, if you look at the best direct analogy to Payday 2 is Killing Floor 2, and they never had anything like this. Like,
or Killing Floor 1.
Or Killing Floor 1. That's what I mean. Killing Floor 1. It's a horde mode co-op game with like a few DLCs, but no microtransactions.
And there was more people playing Killing Floor 1 right before Killing Floor 2 came out. There's more people playing Killing Floor 1 than fucking Evolve, the game that just came out
I pointed that out in the video.
It came out then. Honestly, that game is...
And Evolve is a different... What?
With like the whole, you know, with the longest lasting communities are ones with an economy. I mean,
yeah, but it's usually in a game which is already like well done, and the actual game is
but
than
you have to
Payday
think that like, those didn't start off as perfect either. I mean, we're at day one here. I mean, like, what's a good analogy? Like, America wasn't perfect. Fucking that's a horrible
and
analogy.
It still is.
Crimefest is America.
Okay, you know what I'm trying to say, though, right?
So day one was Nixon.
Day one is always
was
like...
actually really nice with the update. Rebalancing stuff fixed pretty much all the bad things in TF2, and I'm saying that this as a player who has about 1,000 hours in TF2. Cases where you know when you would get them because you would just have to fill up the contract. Yes, you would have to buy a key, but at the same time you could just sell the case in the first place, which you would have to work to get it. Also in TF2 you can get just the free drops, which you can combine in a scrap metal, sell them, and acquire a key without actually spending any money on it. So I think the TF2 analogy and CSGO analogy in that regard is kinda not supposed to be here, because in all those games you can acquire keys through other means, and in Payday the only way to get them is either through a community market or to buy them in game, which pretty much is you have to buy them.
I mean, even Diablo had big problems with the whole
marketplace.
And I think they actually had a really ingenious, I think it was just called the marketplace. They had a really ingenious thing. I mentioned that in my video as well. Just go check out that video right there. They had like these invisible, basically when everyone made a transaction, it was run through Blizzard and they took like 10 cents or something. So like every time there was a transaction, they would take a percentage. It was never clear that there was like a cost to it. You would all just make, transactions back and forth and Blizzard would get money. It wasn't like, oh, you're buying something for $2.50 or whatever. So yeah, I don't know.
Well, it says in the community market that Valve gets a portion of the money.
That's true.
Because it's
they make that very clear. Free drops, yes, that might mix things up.
It might, you know, and free drops or something.
Make it not free. Maybe make it so you have to
Hackers.
work for it. But
The
again,
problem
hackers,
is the diesel engine is old as shit. The engine that Payday runs on is a really old one, and it's not really meant for. It's very easily exploitable, from what I hear.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I know that's why you mentioned like all the bugs and stuff. You meant to say like, this is a game that has many problems that could be fixed before they add more stuff on top of it.
They just need to make Payday 3.
yeah.
I don't think that's gonna happen, is it?
Never gonna happen.
I hope so.
I don't think it's going to.
Yeah.
They're working on with Lion Scheme Lion that next game, the World War II one.
Walking World War? Walking
And,
Hitler?
there's Walking Dead as well.
Walking Hitler.
Well, there's Walking Dead, but I mean like after that. What's it called?
If there is anything microtransaction like in Walking Dead, a survival game with zombies, that's gonna be yet another World War Z.
I mean, there will be. If they're introducing
Or Z,
microtransactions
whatever
into
it's
Payday
called.
2, they're gonna do it for the next one. This could be like a testing ground for that. Yeah, exactly. And Crimefest would be like it'd be a carrot and a stick, basically. It'd be like, okay, so here's the skins, and we're offering this for free, yay! And then yeah, things would calm down, and then be like, oh, well, at least we have Crimefest. But we're literally like. We just ordered a cake with a hooker in it, guys, and the hooker's like this big fat hairy dude who's like, hi, and we're like,
cake is
oh my
actually
god, exactly. Well, I don't want to say shit because
It's 5 masks.
yeah, it's like yeah,
Also,
Yeah,
and
that-
like
yeah,
everyone was
that-
like,
good
oh, not only am I
that was 5
disappointed.
challenges. We worked our ass off for 5 challenges for 5 masks that you'll probably wear for a weekend. and
That
then
was the
just,
other
you know,
thing, like
gets dust. Like
all of those
everything else.
different things were like, wait a minute, like, so one of these things is literally something that a lot of people feel breaks the game, and then 5 others are masks. Okay.
also, again, I think this system with skins and cases and, you know, actual keys for real money, it shouldn't be in a game which already asks you to buy DLCs pretty much, because let's face it, playing without DLCs is you can't do it. You have to either buy a weapon pack or like you can ask your friend to buy a map pack so that you can play new heists. Asking even more money for keys, for basically like skins. Yeah, unlocking a gun that you don't own. Do you
Yeah.
get the gun for
Just
free?
that, no, like just that gun though. Not
Yeah,
just,
you
like,
see,
in
you
the whole
don't get
pack.
anything for free. You have to spend money, hope that you will get something good. You will get, of course, some battle scar skin for a bow, which you don't even have.
Yeah, no, but she's suggesting that.
Yeah, I'm just saying. And some of the prices for this, like, in Russia, like, as a comparison, right now, it's cheaper to buy a DLC than it is to buy a single key. So
What is that
you're
noise?
pretty
There's the
much
government.
buying-
They're coming.
That's a motorcycle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're pretty much buying a DLC over and over in the hopes that you will have a chance to get a skin which you want for a weapon which you will probably almost never use because it's all RNG. Adding this economy to Payday, it's pointless. There is no winners in this situation other than, you know, Overkill and
Russians.
Steam, which get money from it.
Russians.
I was gonna say, like, god damn it, the Russians somehow managed to hack the game again.
In Russia, yeah, in Russia economy.
This is revenge for the Cold War.
Yeah, in Russia economy is kind of in the shitter right now. So actually we are losing a lot because key is worth a fuck ton in here. I'm sorry about this.
Interesting coupons.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, in Russia, keys worth
That
way
would
more
actually be kind of a
because-
cool thing.
Yeah, keys in Russia are not region locked, unlike DLCs, because for some people who don't know, ruble is kinda like a worse currency than a dollar. So Overkill made it so in Russia you have to pay less for a DLC, but you cannot trade it to other countries.
Oh.
Keys are not region locked, so we have to buy them for 250, which, you know, you can translate it to rubles
So you can be
and
like a
see.
freaking keys dealer now? Like, hey, I got those, like, you
No,
know,
no, no, no.
ruble
Again,
drills.
keys worth the same amount of money.
Ruple drills. I got the ruple
Yeah,
drills.
keys worth the same amount of money in Russia as
market.
it is in other countries now, after they fixed the bug, which was in the first half an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be pretty funny, though. A black market for the black market.
Oh, ooh, meta market.
Also about hackers, I was thinking people just can pretty much hack in the item. They won't be able to sell it, but they still can pretty much hack in random lobbies and say, ooh, my skin has plus 20 damage on it, it's a really elite skin, and they will get away with it. So, in a way, this makes hackers even less, you know...
Has Overkill
noticeable.
ever thought about, like I know for a fact they would just label you just cheater, the big, huge stamp, and it's over your head, you know, for however long, I don't even know.
Oh, yeah.
But what about just, like, completely turning off, like, the, like, online capabilities if you get caught, like, hacking with those weapons, you know what I mean? So you can only play single-player experiences because you cheated. Because if you get, you know, VAC banned, good luck trying to play, you know, Counter-Strike, you know, Team Fortress, whatever, because...
Or you can just switch your profile to private and hack away.
So it's just within the Payday 2 community?
Oh, you know what?
Okay.
Like, you say that people ban communities. Also, I want to plug this.
This
Payday 2
motorcycle?
Stats.
Holy hell. He's just showing off right now.
Yeah, Payday 2 Stats, a website which is similar to how Overkill made FBI files,
Yeah.
so you can check everyone's profile and stuff. Last Bullet community, Simon, Great Big Bushy Beard, he made a special mod which would mark cheaters. But at this point, first of all, Payday 2 Stats is gone, because Overkill, even though they supposedly talked to the guy who made this site, first of all, Payday 2 Stats, if you go on it, you can pretty much read all about
bring that
it.
up,
Basically,
actually.
yeah, FBI files.
Do you mind if I read out the message she gave?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
All right. So this is if you try to log into payday2stats.com or just go to the website, you'll be greeted with this sort of wall of text. And I'm going to read out what it says. Greetings, user. If you're reading this, then you are one of the few remaining people that actually uses my website. I thank you for that. However, you are probably wondering why you see this letter instead of the site you were looking for. If you have a moment, then I will explain you why. I will start from the very beginning. About a year and some months ago, I started building this site in secret. Once I got to the point it was usable, I released it, and it was quickly picked up by Overkill and promoted. Some months later, I got invited to visit Overkill's studios. We talked about several things. One of them was Payday 2 Stats and, yes, the FBI files. Back then, I was promised that the FBI files would not be like Payday 2 Stats. They aren't going to be anything similar, and they aren't intended to make Payday 2 Stats useless or kill it. After the visit, I barely had any contact with Overkill for over 8 months. About 4 months after FBI files release, I was promised again by Overkill that I would be informed about the FBI files and that I would have a hand in making it happen. 4 months pass, I heard nothing from Overkill until the announcement of the FBI files. That's when it got evident that something went wrong. I contacted Overkill through an employee that normally has nothing to do with any of this. I'm very grateful that he tried to help. It was literally the only chance I got to get any kind of a response. He got back to me, and I was told that the team responsible for the FBI files was not informed about the existence of Payday 2 Stats or about the plans that higher management in Overkill had. At this time, there was still some time, and I was assured that people have been misinformed about it and I would be contacted ASAP. A week later, no responses. I contacted them again to be told that everyone is aware of the situation and I would be contacted. Another week later, another message. This time I was simply asked if I was not contacted yet. No, I had not been contacted. Another couple days later, I informed them that Payday 2 Stats has now under 20 users. If you are one of them, thank you. And that 50% of the funding for LastBullet.net is now gone. I am involved in developing LastBullet.net, and as such, I use the ad revenue from Payday 2 Stats for it. Essentially, at this point, Payday2Stats.com was using more resources than it could make up for. Way more. I have informed Overkill about the shutdown of Payday 2 Stats a week in advance. I also suggested that making Payday 2 Stats official or working together with the FBI files might fix this issue. I will be contacted very soon. Another week passed, no replies, seemingly no one cares. And it turned out that Overkill does respond to other people about various matters, so if this implies that they are on purpose ignoring this. I managed to contact them directly 2 weeks later, yesterday, to be told that there is no time to discuss this and I should wait another couple of weeks. Meanwhile, Payday 2 Stats is going down more and more. There is seemingly no point to this anymore. We have now arrived at the present with this distressing situation. This is why you are reading this letter instead of getting where you wanted to go. If you would like to my work or the website, or if you think there is hope, spread the word, contact them. Maybe together we can make something happen at last. And he gives a link to Overkill's Twitter and the Steam discussion thread. Lastly, there are some technical details if anyone wants them. The code of PD2 stats is not gone, it's just not alive anymore. API.pd2stats.com is still running, it uses resources, and lastbullet.net pays for it. I hope you have a nice day. Greetings, Payday2Stats team.
Yeah, this pretty much Overkill knew about Payday2Stats. Not only Overkill, pretty much the whole community used it. Some of the HUDs, even you were able to directly go to the person's profile and check his stats. But a few, I guess, when was it? Like a month ago, Overkill released FBI files, which, like, the first moment I saw this, I was like, okay, this is a ripoff of Payday2Stats. And yeah, this is kind of bad because this, again, looks like Overkill ignoring the community. I'm not saying they like stole the idea of or anything, but again, it looks really awful from...
It looks very suspicious.
Yeah. Also, can I just say, Overkill said that they are gonna add a workshop for weapon skins. This is yet another problem, like we had with Skyrim mods. If some of you remember, some people just went on a free site, downloaded a bunch of mods for Skyrim, and they were trying to put them on workshop as paid mods, without a huge amount of moderation from Overkill, from Steam moderators. Workshop will be just filled with skins that are stolen from Last Bullet. For example, there are a few really good ones, like Wolf's skin pack, Infamy weapon pack, and so on. People were working on it for about, I guess, 2 years now at this point. It was always free. And adding again this workshop will pretty much light this whole fight with the community and modders, because again, if you're making something, if you invested your time in it, you would want to, I guess, if there's a way to get money for what you've done, you will probably go for it. And I will not be surprised if some of the modders will upload their work on, you know, Steam Workshop. But again, without a moderation, and also some people from the community will probably not like it as usual, because, you know, it's people, and they will be like, ooh, sell out, you've done it for free, why do you want money from it now?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that Workshop is a bad idea. I'm just saying that with Workshop and with the fact that those skins, people will get money from them, I think it comes back to the point that probably not the best idea to include real money in Payday, even more so than buying DLCs.
Yeah, I mean, this comes at like a really bad time. I know this guy is basically doing it kind of in reaction to, I think, the microtransactions. And I mean, I know that actually you mentioned this before, like a strong community is one that has an economy. Games like this also don't survive without a strong modding community. And this, with the Steam Workshop, which could end up alienating the mod community, and the Payday2Stats thing, it seems like, I'll say alienate again, it seems like Overkill is alienating the modding community with these changes.
Pretty much what we have now is paid mods to Electric Boogaloo. It's the same problem, it all goes back, but it also has a problem with, you know, this, it will be basically paid mods, but also we are gonna have to buy DLCs, and also we're gonna have to buy, you know, keys for skins to get better weapons. So, some people also, I've seen, complain about that, like, you don't have to buy skins, but at the same time it's a co-op game, you wouldn't want to have a better experience, a better gun for something like Deathwish. You pretty much would have to spend money on this, and there's no other way to show off to people, because, let's face it, showing off like your cool new gun is psychologically, and it's kind of important in the games like Counter-Strike, for example.
We can't. That's I don't really like that logic, because you have to, then you're pandering to people that want to show off. Like, I mean, that's a very
well,
like,
again, it comes back together to it's all pretty much made from people just wanting to show off, and people, for example, in Counter-Strike, you can see you get killed by a knife, which is like, I don't know, Star Trek M9 bayonet Crimson Web. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
You're gonna feel this, because if you go to Steam Market and you see, holy shit, this skin is worth more than my, I don't know...
car.
Something, yeah.
What kind of car you drive?
Yeah, you feel a bit, a bit. How would you call it? Me being Russian, I forgot the word. Basically, you'll feel
Isolated?
Isolated?
not isolated, like you feel
Jealous.
like you
Oh, alienated. I was like...
alienated. Yeah, there you go.
I use that word
Like,
twice.
I'm,
Wow, good job.
I'm sorry, it's like 3 in the morning here, so I'm derpy.
That's fine.
But yeah, again, it all comes down to if you see someone using it who spend money, you would want the same. Like, you would want a skin for your favorite car 4. And especially the fact that it also has a stat bonus. It will be more viable on a certain difficulty levels. And it all comes back together that it's a bad idea to either have, stat boost on skins or to have paid skins all together. Yeah.
I mean, that is good to hear that you guys have, talked about it and like sort of thought about it. It just seems like one of those backbones of the community kind of thing. Like you can put as many sticks as you want, up next to the baby tree to try and make it grow straight, but you really have to water it.
That was the weirdest analogy. Out of left field.
I do those. I'm sorry.
Well, let's face it. At this point, Overkill kinda came out with this update in a wrong time, and they also approached this update in the worst, I guess, way possible.
Yeah.
Ripping off people from money yet again, not only for DLCs, but now for cosmetic skins, which may or may not have a stat boost, is like, I would never expected this from any developer, let alone, Overkill. I would never expect Overkill to add skins
I'd
and cases to the
expect
game.
this from Konami.
Possibly.
Oh, that's a good one.
Fuck
Bang,
Konami.
bang.
I mean, I would say EA, but I don't want to go that far.
Ubisoft.
I want to go that.
Ubisoft.
I don't want to go that far.
With EA, you can only buy a game like Battlefield and some DLCs, like expansion packs. You don't need to buy skins in that game.
I mean, the whole battle pack thing for Battlefield, though.
Yeah, that was
you
kind of
battle packs, you can
And
earn
then
them in game for
Mass
being a good player, and you open them for free.
I mean, you can
more,
buy them,
but...
and then like Mass Effect had those as well. You're right, and even then, like you could get things in game. So
I've never known a man, and I've been playing Battlefield at least for quite some time when it got released. I've never known anyone who would be stupid enough to spend money on battle packs because it's retarded. You pretty much get alternatives to what you unlock in game, and also you can get those battle packs in game. So there's no reason to get it.
Maybe you're mentioning the reason they didn't do that. It's like no one would be stupid enough to buy that. Like
yeah, but
that's why they didn't do that.
It's the only way to get skins, and the fact that those skins are pretty much make your weapon better than the other weapons, it's ridiculous. I would never expect Overkill to do this, but I guess this is a crazy world we live in. Then developer who makes a game, makes paid DLCs, can also now, I guess, demand
more
money from us for
skins. Fuck you, give me money.
Yeah.
Let's
But
see.
it actually takes a person to like purchase that though. Like they're saying, give us money. Like anything with DLC, it's always like give us more money as people see it. But like you don't have to personally buy that. But that's how I see like with this update, how it's like, well, I mean, if we actually had all those guns you're giving skins for, I mean, and they didn't give stats, then yeah, no one would have that problem. Like.
Yeah.
Like I don't have to buy this. This is just cosmetic. I mean, I can expect my default gun every day. It looks pretty
Or
sexy,
can just get a mod.
Vintage is nice. I don't need no like bright leopard stuff.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that don't really care for it. I like real steel-looking weapons.
Yeah.
Well, I'm the person who uses mods on the daily basis, so I'm used to mods for my weapon skins. Also, there's I guess mods. Some people may not use it again. Gun mod had weapon customization for a long time, and it was done so perfectly. Basically, you can take a gun, you can take any part of that gun or the whole gun together, and you can customize it just as you would customize a mask. It would not cost you anything. So you can, for example, apply rainbow material, I don't know, stripes, and make it orange and black. and it would be free. You can do anything with it at any point in time, and yeah, it was pretty much the best thing in terms of weapon customization. Or you could just straight up download a reskin for a weapon. Again, I don't see how it goes well with all the skins which are paid.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Ashley, yeah, people have been saying that.
Yeah, it's supposed to. It's like Lua mods were disabled because of some changes to the engine because of the whole Steam, I guess, synchronization. Yeah, it's not. So it's not. It wasn't intended, and I think Overkill were surprised by it as well.
I'll just open this up, so I guess we have some footage of it. Did I mean... No, I didn't mean that, Google. You're dumb as shit. Never mind, I can't copy-paste it, so...
Did it pull up your porn collection?
You wish.
I do like some of the skins, but I don't like really a lot of the exotic ones.
No, actually, I mean, that's mostly the reason why you're here, is to sort of dispel these, like... sort of rumors and salacious lies that have been sort of spread around. I mean,
yeah, the only good part of this update that I can personally tell I like is the actual skin. Some of them, for example, RPG has a reference to Winnie the Pooh, Russian version of it. Like skins look nice. That
I like the Link skin for the Plains Rider bow. Yeah, that was pretty. That made me have feels.
Yeah, but at the same time, they also introduced the fact that all the skins have, I guess, not only rarity but also the conditions. For example, I have a battle-worn Plains Rider bow in my inventory. It looks like someone took a bow, stick it in paint, and then I guess. Ran it over with a car a few times, put it in the grinder, and I've spent my money on it, so...
Yeah, I think
you don't have
need
to use it.
Get rid of the quality. Just have skins, like...
I could have unlocked a case in CSGO, I got a better gun, which would cost
I want to
more.
know how Overkill decides, though, what skins are going to be, like, what tier of rarity and everything, because I know Counter-Strike takes, like, a really long time to do that. They always have, like, more exotic and, like, catch-your-eye skins are going to be much higher up and everything. But
well, the much simpler ones are lower rarity.
And the much, like, simpler ones are just, like, either solid colors or just whatever. Those are less rare, more common. But here with Payday, I'm seeing how I can have this, like... snow leopard on my JP36, or like this leopard on my Gruber Curse, and the blues.
Ice leopard.
Ice leopard, thank you. And up in like the purples and reds, it could just be like something pretty simple, like
green shotgun.
The green, yeah.
Yeah, the green, solid green shotgun. I'm like, this is
once
really
you start
rare.
getting the higher rarity ones, so the one I unlocked, that Sad Almir, had like a pixel art of Almir on my magazine.
Yeah,
and had him like crying on it. I was like, oh.
Yeah, also, speaking of skins, like, some of them look basically like what you would get from good mod customization, which I honestly didn't like. For example, the grid, it's basically they took material, which was slime, I believe, and they just pasted it over some of the weapon parts, which, again, you could already done it with some of the mods. And some other ones, like leopard skins, are, I think those use just pattern from... you know, actual game, which again you could have made those skins in game already. And other skins, like I have 3,000 heists per minute minigun. Those, I think they hired people, like artists, to do some of the skins, which I thought was actually really interesting.
That was a nice touch, yeah.
Yeah, but some of the skins look pretty much what you would have from good mod, and I think that shouldn't be a thing if we still have paid skins in a game, which, again, in my opinion, how you would fix this whole clusterfuck of an update, remove being able to buy keys, or make it an optional thing. Like, you can get keys from card drops, or from daily jobs, or weekly jobs. And that would...
But hacking is still an issue. That's the problem. It's gonna ruin the economy. Well, I guess
economy would exist.
Yeah, because Pirate Perfection, you can just end a heist instantly by tapping a key.
The keys are tied to Steam API. I don't think you can make a game create an item which would also get synced with Steam API. So... again, or it could just be, I guess, just no. Again, spending more money on keys in this game, which you would have in America, for example. If it's not a sale for Payday, you would have to spend about $100 on a game to get all the DLCs.
Yeah.
And you would also have to spend even more money in hopes of skins. I think that's just ripping up people off from the money at this point.
Yeah. So
They're not
I think
giant piggy banks.
I think we've sort of circled the wagons on these. I think we may very well be done with our discussion here. Does everyone have anything else to say before I ask the one final question?
No, I think I think
Ashley?
Yeah, I think I'm all right.
I'll give Ashley a second to respond. Okay.
She's good.
So she's good. All right. So one final question: is Payday 2 dead?
Probably not.
There's certainly a lot of live people saying that it's dead.
Yeah,
so.
a lot of people say leaving thumbs down and ratings on Steam and stuff.
I mean,
I've seen a lot of people saying they uninstalled it, and then I look on their profile and they're playing it right now.
Exactly.
Like, well then.
Well, I can speak pretty much from the whole Russian community because I spend half of my day sitting on Russian forums, social links and stuff. Yeah, and from what I could gather, about 96% of the people are done with the game. About half of those people will maybe go back to the game if there are changes. And by changes I mean removing the whole paid keys from the game. Because skins, no one has problem with skins from what I could gather. Also being able to, I guess, open those safes. It's a fun little animation and stuff.
Yeah.
But the fact that you would also spend money on it is where people get kind of pissy about it. So if there is nothing done with it, and by that I mean the best option I would assume would be to remove the being able to open and sell items from Payday. Because honestly, if you make it so you can acquire a key from, in-game, there are probably going to be cheaters, and people have to realize it. But as it stands right now, there is no point in it. Only about 5% I think of the people who would play Payday would spend money on this game and in hopes to I will this elite skin to sell it on community market and I will be a millionaire. Or you can just, do the same in CSGO and not even worry about it.
I mean,
so,
the price for the keys has been going up steadily. I know people are being opportunistic, but...
Well, it's for what it always is, though.
Yeah,
it's a cock measuring contest. I mean, hell, you're in a lobby with a skin, and you'll actually be moving around, showing off your skin in the lobby, not
with
just
a shitty
in
animation.
the game.
I might add.
Yeah, basically just fucking stepping back and forth. But it's basically what it's for. It's to show off. It's a cock measuring contest. You do know for a fact that the day Payday 2 came out, that those infamous masks were completely worth just grinding and just doing things over and over just to get, because you could show up in a lobby later doing your little badass pose wearing a grin or something, and you're like, yeah, that's right, what's up, I freaking put my time into this game. And now
and then Pirate Perfection came out.
Yeah, Pirate Perfection came out. That pretty much ruined it. And then the side jobs didn't help at all, because now how really rare is the Dillinger Death Mask or the grin? You can get that any other week now, pretty much, just by doing an achievement of all things.
Also, may I quickly add something that I just remembered? There's a game, some of you may have heard about it. It's called Call of Duty Advanced Warfare.
Never heard of it.
I know, it's gonna be weird that I'm
Are the
comparing
developers
this to
indie?
COD, but hear me about it. In COD, you can get a special drops in-game, which would contain a changed weapon with a special skin. So, all the stats would be altered. For example, you can have an SMG, which would have a, 60 round
weapon
mag.
variants, I know what you're talking about.
Don't those expire?
No.
Some of them don't, some of them yeah.
Are those just the cosmetic items?
Yeah.
I haven't played Advanced
You would
Warfare.
get a case for free just by playing the game. You can open it for free. But if you would really want it, you can also spend money to buy case. I think that would be actually the best type of doing this whole thing. Make only cases purchasable. Because you can only get one a week, make it so it's locked with some sort of Steam protection, so people from Pirate Perfection couldn't acquire them. Make
That's
it
a
so you
good
can
point.
only buy a bundle of those safes, and you can open them for free I just like thought about it because I was like thinking of all the games. You could also in Call of Duty you could not sell those items. They're just in game. You cannot trade them. You cannot sell them on the market. Only thing you can do is to buy cases and hope for the best. And again, opening them all for free, and you can also you get some of the cases for going prestige. It's like infamous spot in COD, or just by simply playing the game. Honestly, if Overkill does this, it would be the best solution, in my opinion.
Yeah. That's actually a really cool idea.
Temporary skin discard drops. That'd be
Temporary
interesting.
skins, I honestly, only if they have really altered stats.
I mean, like, if it's for, like, a gun you don't own, what if, like, for one heist or just, you know, like, an hour or two, you could just have that one gun, like I think Ashley was saying earlier. And then
it might encourage people to buy DLC
but it would be at a discounted price, too.
Also,
like,
you
since
can
you've
make
got
it
the skin
so...
for it, here's, like, this, where the pack is in. Discounted since you've already spent $2 on it. What if you only had to spend, like, the other $2 for the rest of the DLC? You know what I mean?
Also, if you can make it, like, if you make it so you can unlock the cases for free, maybe make it so it also synchronizes to your, I guess, Steam inventory. It sees, like, for example, you don't have a historical pack. You will never get a skin for an MG42 unless you actually buy the DLC, and then you have a chance to get it.
That could easily improve
that
if they just add more safes
honestly,
with more skins in it, and, you know...
Yeah, this whole thing will actually fix all the problems. The fact that you can get skins for the guns you don't own, the fact that you have to spend money on the game which you already spent a buttload of money on. Everyone is Jewish nuts now. It's also that's kind of counterproductive. Jewish Nazi.
A Jewish Nazi.
That's a bit weird. But yeah, if Overkill does this whole system with free saves, which you can unlock at any point without wasting money, but you can also buy like a few more saves for real money, that would be the best. They will still have more, I guess, money from people who would want to speed up the process and don't want to like grind for a skin every week. But at the same time, people will all be happy about it because you can never get a skin. You will never spend the money on a skin which you don't own. And yeah, honestly, that's the best decision I can find at this point to, I guess, save Payday from dying. As you said, Payday is dying. Again, I don't think so. It just needs changes and also apologies from developers, public ones, like with
transparency, apologetics, and just a practical thing, so they can get what they want. They want this thing. They can get what they want, but we can get what we want as well. And
yeah, they will also get money from it. But again, it's this update. I don't think it's as big as some of the DLCs. You don't have to spend money on it again.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's out there. It's our reward. I just want to point out that we've spent our own time and I guess, well, sort of resources, you know, to go in online to earn this reward. And our reward is that we can have like we can spend money on a skin, which again, it may be shit, it may be battle scarred, and or it may be a really unbalanced epic skin.
Battle worn, peace battle worn.
I couldn't care less, honestly, about how they call it. But yeah, I'm just saying that right now it's horrible. I think that as soon as possible there should be refunds for people who spend money on it. And I think it's possible, like they did with Skyrim mods, basically. I've spent money on the Skyrim mod just to see what happens, and the money was refunded back to my Steam account. So, yeah, I'm just saying that this should be changed as soon as possible, because the longer it goes there, the more fire will be, I guess.
Yeah.
In the everywhere.
In the everywhere area.
I'm everywhere. Sorry, it's
no, it's 3 in the morning, I understand.
Well, thanks. Hitting my everywheres.
Yeah, let them cool off. Yeah, you know, maybe, you know, in 2 days' time, we might be placated, and, you know, it may have been a... Right, yeah, and so that's the thing. Like, I think that it was both a bad idea and a good idea to have it at the beginning of Crimefest.
It was a horrible idea.
Yeah, but, like...
Honestly.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's the whole, like, shit cake thing.
It's the worst idea that could ever be done in Payday.
But at the same time, they're trying to sweeten the pot.
Statement.
Yeah, there's a lot.
There could be worse. It's one of the worst things that could be added to Payday, especially as a reward for
Trust me, they could
the whole
just
community getting
tell
together.
you. They could. I don't even want to pretend to know what the word, because I don't want to give them any ideas.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, be careful, man. They're always listening. Like,
if you go into custody, you have to pay $4.99.
Oh god. No. You have
I
like
know
you
so
get
many
like
people who would just
you get
instantly,
10 like
bam,
you
buy a
get
PS4.
10 custodies, but you have to like unlock them every
Get
5
out of
hours.
card, $4.99.
But you have to pay
Yeah.
it like
Wait, you're playing on very hard. You could wait 2 minutes, or you could pay 99 cents and get out of jail right now.
Ooh, no.
That feels like I'm playing the mobile game at this point.
Yeah, that would actually would destroy the game.
Oh god, I'm thinking of so many bad things they could do now.
Let's just shut up because they may listen to this.
Oh
I
my
hope they
God.
listen to this, honestly. Because
On-
the idea that I had in the end, I think it was genius. It's
That's what I
copyrighted by
hear.
me. Overkill.
What if they make it
Gotta
like a
pay up.
mobile game and make it so like when you're modifying a weapon, it's like we'll put the scope on in 24 hours.
Oh my god.
In a week
Okay.
from now.
All right. Oh my god, don't. On that note, thank you gentlemen. Thank you gentlemen for joining this
And
podcast. Gentlemen and lady. Thank you Ashley for coming, and yeah, I hope it gets better for you.
I
Honestly.
really hope. I don't want this game to go down as shitter.
No, me
This
neither.
is our favorite game. We put in the time for it. I mean, we don't want to see it
How many
die.
hours each of us has in this game? Let's go on Steam and check. I have 1,135 at this
I
point.
think
Something like 600.
Yeah, I think
I'm
somewhere
at
like
1,000.
yeah, everyone here's around 1,000 except for James.
Lol.
Noob.
I do
get
other
good.
things with my
98.
time.
Like work at weird shifts.
Yeah,
But I mean,
know.
like it's not like a dick measuring contest. Like 600 plus hours is still a long time. Like if you had to just, you know,
It's
like
still a whole waste of your life, man. You should be proud
That's
of
like
that.
a whole waste of your life.
Yeah,
That's
and
partial.
seeing the yeah, actually, sure, I'm sure of it. No pictures, please. But yeah, seeing like we've spent so much money, and it not only us, like lots of people from the community spending this much time on the game, and seeing what Overkill does with it, I think we have a right to be upset. But again, let's be civil about it, and let's hope that Overkill does the right thing and changes this, hopefully for the best. I sincerely hope that things will be changed as soon
What
as
if the last day of Crimefest is like, just kidding, everybody gets every skin for free and you all get $1 million or some shit like that?
Speaking of $1 million, where's
In
our
real life.
payday contest thing that's supposed to be in America somewhere?
It might be coming. Anyway,
Yeah. Because
Well-
where's our money, Overkill?
where's
oh, the $250,000.
Yeah, that thing.
Oh god. No, we're not opening that can of worms.
Oh my
Right,
god.
We have to end
okay,
this.
no, Ashley,
gotta
Ashley,
open
Ashley's,
that can of worms.
Ashley's got a thing. Ashley's got a thing. Let Ashley say a thing.
Oh god.
Is
it's not
it
hidden.
in our red safes?
Yeah,
I won't mind getting out of that money.
they are aware that we know that they know that. Yeah,
They are doing.
things are being done.
Elmir
Top
has
men.
to count it 40 times just to make sure.
Oh my, no.
It's all in pennies.
All in pennies. I would take that. I don't give a shit.
Okay.
Those machines
$250,000.
take like 40% though.
So basically, you know, yeah, you and Damon Poitier.
I think overall, like also with the whole money from payday con and stuff, I think Overkill should spend more time discussing this whole things and changes that they are doing to the game.
Yeah.
Because
I think they
are
should
pretty
talk to
close
us.
about it.
They should talk to
Yeah.
us. Yeah, if you can get Almir on here to talk to us, that'd be amazing. Or somebody from the community, or not the community, the dev team. Yeah, definitely. Because honestly, I feel like we're reasonable, level-headed guys. We're not going to be like, "You Jewish Nazi bastard! Where's our money, you conniving kike?"
I got.
He's
few
busy
calls
trimming his
for
beard all the
giveaways
time.
from
Have you seen
Almir.
his beard?
It's very well trimmed.
It requires
I
lots of
want to touch the
maintenance.
beard.
If he would take
That's-
like 1
that's
hour
what I
out of
do.
his day,
Kind of says it unless like at PaydayCon, right? Like people cosplayed as Almir, right? But they were disqualified for the contest,
what?
right? Is that
That's
what happened?
impossible. Look,
that-
They
No,
were,
here's the
they
thing.
were because they didn't want it to be viewed as favoritism.
Here's the thing. If Almir takes 1 hour out of his day, he could very easily stifle the flames that have been growing under his and collectively all of you guys' asses. Because, you know, as I think all of us can say that, you know, part of our, you know, success on YouTube or livelihood on YouTube is due to Payday 2 and the community and all the voice actors and everybody who works in Overkill. And I don't know, you don't make any money off of it, Ashley, but, you know, part of your life is dedicated to this. None of us want to see
there are
it
some
go.
fans who can support
Yeah,
you,
we
like,
don't-
with gifts and stuff.
We want to guide
doing a
it
great
in the
job.
right direction. We want to guide it in the right direction, and obviously that makes us a little bit biased. But So we're not going to say, oh, we're going to quit Payday because fuck them all. But
we're not going to accept a mediocre
Payday 2.
response.
We're passionate about this game, and we want the best from this game.
Exactly.
And seeing what's happening right now, it gets us upset.
Look,
I would assume.
it doesn't even have to be Almir himself. I know people blame him directly, but it doesn't have to be him. If he doesn't want to do it, if he doesn't have the time, send somebody officially connected with Overkill. Not an intern, but like somebody...
Unless she's cute. I'm just kidding.
Shut up.
Also, your number, please.
You want to know why my name is Richard Dangles?
Oh, God.
Oh, okay. So it'd have to be Almir. Well...
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I forgot that it's all stupid corporations and their rules and regulations and bureaucracy.
Corporations have changed the world.
Let's just move to Mars. That'll
Yes.
solve everything.
Matt
Yeah.
Damon.
At least we'll be able to get...
Let's go frickin' play Payday 2 with Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon!
Matt Damon!
Woo! Sorry. Okay, on that note...
Yeah.
Thanks for joining me, guys.
Peace out.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was.